Back for some more Highlander, Canadian Highlander. So I should have the link to the rules in the video. So currently running this here, I actually am down balance and up intuition, but unsure if that's correct. I have intuition drowned in the lock where I could have balance and say thirst for knowledge or something. Intuition tries to put together some pretty nasty combos though. Life from the Loam, and then two cards that either combine. So Life, Punishing Fire Grove is one. Life from the Loam, Academy Ruin Scroll Rack is another one where you just churn tons of cards. Loam, Strip Mine, and Library of Alexandria, for example, might be one. Or Loam Library Coliseum, Loam Strip Mine Wasteland. So there's a bunch of different combos you can put together. So Stack tries to stay ahead. So balance seemed like it might be a little bit worse. But I don't know because the card is incredibly powerful and it might be foolish of me to not be using it. So we'll see if I miss it. Meanwhile, hopefully we'll get some games here. I gotta let them know I'm on. And yeah, I'm unsure because I am running Zernorb after all. God, and I just love balance. It's like one of my favorite cards of all time. So there's something to be said for that. The card that I could put in that slot would be like Electrolyze, just to get a little bit of value out of get a little bit of card drawing, but also a little bit more board control. The other thing I could also, another card that I was considering strongly is Liliana of the Veil, but I don't know that I actually have. I may not actually have one. Let's see if I've got a non-foil. And the reason Liliana is kind of crazy is that no, it doesn't seem that I do have one. Is that it's incredibly good with Loam, right? Um, I could also run something like, what is Kaya's ultimate? I'm trying to remember. It's a way to stop Loam shenanigans, kills small things. Kind of an interesting card. I find Planeswalkers at 3 to be pretty saucy. Oh, there is also this other card that I had been considering, which is this dinosaur. I might actually try this out. Let's try this out. So Runic Armasaur. It's a card that really gets in your opponent's way. I'm going to try Balance again. So Runic Armasaur. Whenever an opponent activates the ability of a creature or land that isn't mana, I may draw a card, which means fetch lands draw me cards, basically. So very good against that. And also it's a 2/5, so it's just got a huge blot against decks that want to apply early pressure. Can be incredibly good turn 3 play. So currently what I'm not playing, I don't have Edric in here, and I don't have the life-gaining black-white creature that's similar to Edric. It's possible that either of those cards is just better than Runic Armasaur, but I kind of liked the Runic simply because of the size of the creature. For when card draw isn't the problem, not dying is the problem. This guy does a better job than Edric does. While Edric, on the other hand, can just come down and immediately start fueling you. But let's see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and get this constructed game set up. We'll go into freeform, open. No, not Vanguard. Not tournament practice. Let's see if I can find it. Is there an open play? There it is. Freeform open play. Okay. We'll get the game built. And I'll go ahead and text him, let him know, and hopefully we'll get some games going here. So sending out the text now. I thought I had hopefully we'll get this going soon. Still, unsure as to whether or not this could be. I mean, there's so many things that this could be that are good. So don't know really yet which should be. The double green is a bit of a concern. There are other cards like Oran Viper at that cost that are pretty good, and in general, there's a lot of interesting cards at that cost that all could be useful. There's Eternal Witness, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll kind of see. But I'm just curious to try. It was one of those cards that I didn't even have on my radar, and so I thought, wait, who am I playing here? What are we even playing? I don't even know who this is that joined me. Oh, whatever. I'll play them with their 60 card deck over there. That's my 100 card deck. All right, so not casting this anytime soon. I have no idea I don't even know what format my opponent's playing. For all I know, they could just, what is this? Well, I need to find some land. Plateau does let me Cascade Command, Spellseeker, a Deluge. Very nice. Lets me recover, possibly. So we'll see. Riftstone Portal. Deafening Silence. More than one non-creature spell per turn. Interesting. That is weird. That's an amazing sideboard card. Not so sure that it makes any sense here, but hey, who says we need to make sense, right? All right, well. So I could play Spellseeker and just, let's just do it. I don't see a lot going on over there. So I really want to get some mana. I could just go get Tithe. I think that actually makes sense. Tithe, or I can get or I can be a little bit greedier. I think Tithe is fine. So the nice thing here is if this dies, I get a K command it back. This guy goes and gets Loam too, which is also just crazy. Since Loam is one of the key cards for this deck, but opponent's mana screwed, so all right, let's go get green. We'll get Oko down. Oh, right, I can't. Oh, pay attention to what's going on over there, Nate. Okay, I should have played the Steam Vents. I mean, it's fine because I can counter, but I could have played well, I could have just, I don't know. I suppose this is fine because I want to hit my land drops, but I could have played the Steam Vents for the turn and then tried to Tithe on their turn if I had the option. Death Touch, something. Just stall. So I can get Oko down, I can get Brea down. I think what we do is we get Oko here. Get ourselves a 3/3. Low order. I suppose I should have played that first and then thought that through. But, say la vie. Now I've got Oko, Brea combo where I just feed tokens to my Brea, so. Alright, so what do we want? Red. white, black, blue. All right, 1, 1. Thopter, my blue Thopter is now green. I like that. So my token is now a blue-green creature? Or no? That's actually weird. Is it green and blue, or is it just green? Maybe it's just green. Yeah, I guess it's just green. That's pretty interesting. It's just a little confusing because the color of the Thopter didn't actually change, or did it? Am I just looking? No, it didn't change. What am I going to play? Trapped in the Tower. Yeah, sure. Trapped in the Mana Screw over there. I don't understand at all why my opponent, why this person, I don't know who this is or why they joined my game. Like what they were thinking about there. But, okay. Power level was only like, slightly off, maybe. I don't know about this Runic Armasaur. So many cards at 3 that, it could be. It could be also just Shackles. The other card is this Coalition Relic to get out from under a, fix my mana and get out from under the trap of, Coalition Relic. Crucible Worlds is the other card too, I suppose. I have a lot of effects that I have 2 effects, primarily Loam and what's the other one? Ren and 6. Those are the 2 effects that I have to recur lands. So, okay, finally I've got the correct opponent here. All right, so I could be greedy and try to tithe for extra lands, but I don't think that makes sense here. I have the advantage of tempo, so I want to press that advantage. It gave me, not waiting on tithe, still gave me a chance to draw a land on this turn or on the next turn, so that it shouldn't be, uh-oh, that's real bad news. What I should be seeing here is Library of Alexandria, which just kills me, most likely. If I can't find a waste or a strip mine very quickly, then I'm in big trouble. Oh, he needs colored mana. Okay, well, then game on, I guess. I hate to kill a counterspell, but really want to hit a land drop. So I could Worldly Council into a land drop, but I think it makes more sense to try to remand here, and then if for example, my opponent plays a strip mine somehow here, then I'll Worldly Council in response, try and dig that way. Otherwise, yep. Ponder. Opponent has a scrubland in hand, so they may not actually have the mana to ponder here. Yeah, there we go. 5 flips it. So I could counsel here, and then if I bin the top card, it can flip it. Assuming one of the cards is mana for Edict. That's a pretty good spot, but I'd rather try to get the mana for the Knight and play the Knight this turn. Ah, mon dieu. All right, let's go digging. This is unbelievably bad. I guess I can take a counterspell, or do I want to take? Yeah. Um, oh wait, it doesn't flip on 5, flips on 7. I'm sorry, it's Threshold. It's Jace, Baby Jace that flips on 5. This is very painful, not hitting any land drops. How many cards have I drawn? I drew an extra one there. I've milled off 2, drawn one that's 3, and counseled for 3. 4, 5, 6, plus my draw step, 7, 8, something like 9 cards in, and I still haven't found a land. It's kind of bad. I mean, this could work out. The Deluge. Okay, so there's no blue showing, which is good. There we go. So there's a trick here. I can play Zern Orb, and if I wanted to, I could actually flip Search for Azcanta by not binning a card, but I'd have to sack a land to do it. I don't think that that's really great. However, if I play Orb now and my opponent actually takes the time to kill it for some reason, then if I like the top card, I can flip Azcanta. The other thing that I can do, though, is if my opponent plays a creature, I can put Azcanta on the stack. Let's turn off auto yields. And then I can Edict and then flip it, and I'll have evasive action up. Well, Azcanta's gone now. Sad, sad day. Okay, well, there's an opportunity here if I can draw a blue. I think as good as that is. I suppose what I could have done is held the Zern Orb for the scroll rack. But I was just, maybe I was over-teching. Just should have thought through for the more obvious. Wow, that really wants that card, huh? Ah, jeez. I guess if he wants it that badly. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll get the Goose down and we'll go Stoneforge. Oh no, actually we will not go Stoneforge. I'm gonna get the Goose down and pass. And then I've got evasive for whatever, you know, there's unburial writing over there to get double blue, right? So whatever this is, it's gonna be hefty. Okay, so I could just get Jace down and then sit with the Goose to protect the Jace, which I like. I can also tutor for Clamp and Batterskull, I think, are my only targets at present. So no Sword of Fire and Ace. So I can Edict this off, tutor for, say, Batterskull or something. But I think it makes more sense to get the Jace down. I have an opportunity to run it out uncontested here, so let's do that. It looks like I want another blue, green, I want to say. That way, if I want to play a green card and still activate the Goose on a specific turn, I'll be able to do it. I don't need a stone portal right now. And I can hide what I want to hide. Stoneforge, I guess? Stoneforge or scroll rack? Hide Stoneforge. Well, yeah. We'll hide the Stoneforge. That way, if my opponent does some kind of duress play here, I've got a way to shuffle and combine that with the Jace is pretty good. Okay, so now I get to bounce Edict. Although, unfortunately, it's going to take a turn to do all that. Yeah, there's no way around it. Draw your 2. Tap it for blue or something? Yeah, sure. Clear attack step. During combat. No, I'll do it after. Alright, so I want to, let's double our red and green mana sources. Let's get this thing down. So I could get Clamp, but I have Jace running, so let's get Better Skull instead. Edict. Oh no. Well, that sucks. I mean, I guess I got rid of his Swords to Plowshares, but that's still really bad news. I suppose I could have bounced Sphinx, but yeah, what could I have done differently there? God dang, man. Alright, so the Snapcaster's dead. There's the Noble. Opponent's going to draw extra cards off Sphinx. This is bad. I'm impressed by Sphinx. What? No maximum hand size. Draw an extra card and discard. Okay. Don't fully understand that. I'm definitely going to bounce that Sphinx, though. I don't want it in play, and the tempo is... This has been actually a much harder game than it should have been due to that Snapcaster. Alright. Well, mainly due to that Sphinx. Okay, so draw. So I could dig here and try to clear that out before triggering this, and I like that, so let's try. We're going to Delver, man. Yeah, let's do it this way. No clear. That's painful. Alright, so I want to discard. What do I have to discard? I guess I'll discard Deep Analysis, and then the card I want is going to be Loam to go with that scroll rack. One is going to have a glut of cards. All right, so get an extra black here. Draw my cards while I can. Okay, Leovold might actually get something done. I'm going to pass though. I want to get the not the loam down. I want to get the better skull into play. So with Leovold, opponent will be attempting to draw 2, and then discarding. So they'll draw for their turn, or what is it, upkeep? Draw step. So they'll draw 1, discard 1 each turn. And with this, I can actually make them dump 3 more cards out of their hand, and of course we can get the Sphinx dealt with here soon, it looks like. Dealt with in the sense of no more providing value over there. Okay. No maximum hand size is a bit of a problem for me against somebody with a Sphinx also. Okay. All right, more cards from my opponent, unfortunately. Until I get the anvil off the board, too, it's extra bad. All right. I could use Loam to prevent him from drawing extra cards here at some point, because it'll replace a card draw. Scroll Rack will as well. Let's see. So I need black, green, black, and a blue. Let's hope that this sticks. I would expect it to be countered, unfortunately. Yep. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, we'll land that. Bounce this for tempo. For Jace. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens now. At least I get to draw extra cards off Leo, so my opponent draws. They have to discard. But they're at 11 cards in hand, so who cares? Now the Sphinx is just a gigantic thing that will kill me. Okay. Anyway. I imagine Leo's going to die very soon. Yo. Okay. What's coming back? There's an a lot over there I care about. I guess Council's Judgment's good for like Batter Skull or something. Opponent is giving me a window to get into this game again thanks to the wait, what? Oh, Deluge. Got it. So a little bit mana shy. They already play land? Because Sphinx isn't coming down if they did. And I need that Emerald to go away. I might just loam and hope to hit a flashback card. It's also decent if I loam into and then I do the scroll rack business. This opponent has another board clear. It's not the worst. I still have the skull out too. I can equip that onto something and go with some beats that way. Okay, I will not do a replacement effect. And then I will. Gosh, I got Punishing Fire. Okay, that's all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So I can Factor Fiction. I can also scroll rack. I should try to get the rack down. I need to draw out counter magic though. Let's see. Let's try this. I don't think this is going to pull counter magic, but you never know. Okay. Just going to try Chase. I can try Scroll Rack. I can try Factor Fiction. I think I'm going to try the Scroll Rack, and then, if it doesn't work, I've got... I mean, because Scroll Rack just wins. If it sticks, or it should. Yeah, we're going to rack. Jace, is it good? If I play Jace, I don't think it's very good. I can even, let's just scroll the whole business away. There we go. So we're going to put Jace underneath of a Factor Fiction. We're going to put 3 lands on top and pass. And that's it. Like I said, if Scroll Rack Loam hits, it's pretty close to a win most of the time. Not that I'm assuming that I've won, but I've drastically improved my chances, right? So what I want to do is try to get... I want to loam the 3 lands on the top of my deck away. Targeting Remand, yeah. 2, 3, 4. Opponent doesn't have a lot of blue though. This is real good for me, hopefully. So I'm going to try not to sack the Tarn. 2, 4, yeah, big play, and then this is where we want to get our mana drain on. So you target the mana drain or the Sphinx? Targeting the Sphinx, good choice. Anyway, let's force. I'd definitely use 6 mana. Okay, so I really want to get Leovold down, I think. All right, here goes Loam. So let's loam away those lands. Draw and then discard. I don't know. Do I really need Fact or Fiction at this point? Well, I can fact this turn. I don't need Helix. Yeah, because I've got 6 mana coming, right? So let's get that mana. All right, so we'll get our loam on. I think I can tap this guy safely. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then do our fact. Okay, there we go. So I can get to that strip mine later. It's not super important that I try to strip mine my opponent here. It's much more important that I try to control the board. Question is which one does a better job of that. Running 6 can just pop that, and then I can disenchant the anvil with the K command. So I think I'd rather have that. Or I can impulse set up with JV Jace. That might be a little bit better. It's also 3 cards for scroll rack. I don't know, Renin 6. I have Loam running, so it's not super strong. Plowshare seems good, though. So that's my concern. I guess this is kind of like getting a Plowshares. So I know I want to get Jace down, but I also want to dig. So I'm going to dig now. Ooh, Highlander looks real good. All right, so let's play Strip Mine. I don't think I'm going to use it this turn for anything other than colorless. 2. 3, 4. Let's get this down. Glenelendra K command is much as good as I was saying. This might be with Leovold. Is much stronger here. Okay. So now I'm feeling pretty good. Lots of things to do with my mana. Of course, I want to get rid of that anvil, but it's not my first priority. Strong card. I wonder if I should run Sphinx. That's a insane 6-drop. There's also Prime Time. But I don't know that I'm necessarily hurting for 6 drops. It doesn't seem to be a problem that I'm having. Excuse me. So as my opponent could get Library of Alexandria with that, or Strip Mine or Wasteland, but Ramanap. Edict. Okay. All right, so I don't need to worry too much about anvils with I don't need to worry too much about killing an anvil off over there. It's actually powering me up, so. Deluge, x equals 1. Okay, that's actually going to work out nicely. Let's fetch this. Go get some red. So get our Volk. And then let that resolve. And then red, black, blue. We'll go ahead and deal. Pick up Glenn and take out the Ramanap. All right, opponent's down to 3 cards, so I can get a Leovold effect. So upkeep, I want to lead off by racking for 3. Rack and loam, baby. And then loaming those 3 cards away. And then we'll draw and discard. Excellent. So that'll take out that anvil, which I'm not even sure how much I care at this point. I also have Punishing Fire recursion now. So let's see, 3, 4. I'm not even gonna. So let's get Glenn down. Don't want to loam or chase. I could just take a regular draw and then loam more cards into my hand later. So maybe I just want to play something like Quiet Spec. I want to be cautious. I'd like to use Grove of the Burn Willows to pick up Punishing Fire. It's another card that I can just throw away to the Anvil. The Anvil is actually powering me up, so I don't actually want to kill it anymore. I'm going to just run out Chase, I think. Yeah, and be done. All right. So, opponent is getting a little bit of card selection over there, and certainly has Castle Vantress, but it's never actually used it. This is a problem I see with this card. It's an incredibly expensive. 5 mana to not draw a card is incredibly expensive, right? What have I had exiled so far? Teachings and Deep. So this actually only gets Ray and Grudge. I only have 4 flashback cards. Still good, but Days Undoing. We can't have that. Yeah. That was a pretty good game. Managed to beat that Sphinx, which was really nice. So, yeah. It's Runic Armasaur. I am really unsure that this makes any sense compared to, like, just the power of Chromatic Lantern to let me play my cards out from under a Blood Moon effect. Also, just because it's real nice with balance. But I don't know. I've got to see. It's sitting there in my intuition slot. What does my intuition tell me? I mean, I could cut Cruise and Dig, and I could run Merchant Scroll Intuition and try to put my combos together that way. Painful Mulligan. And then that actually frees up a slot. Wow, do I really want to keep this? I dumped this. I have to dig into land. I mean, it's worth a try, but I think I'm in big trouble here. I am going second, though, so I mean, I can force with dig if I have to, or deck. Yeah. Huh. Okay, we're good. This telegraphs that I have no force so well because I auto-yielded. So good luck out here. If my opponent does something like turn to Signet, man, Dax Steel, probably just a super, I mean, that could be a win right there. So maybe Impulse is the card I want to force with, or Dig, just because it's too early for Dig. Certainly would be better if this were Intuition, but because I just go land Intuition, go get Loam, and early in the game like this, probably like Library and Strip Mine or something. But that's supposed to be a Talisman. Okay. Well, I can actually, I could just goose down the, oh, well. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just get that floating. Goose will Impulse if I really want to. Looks like I want to. Kind of. Want is maybe not the right word, but okay. Probably going for Loam. Could be game over for me here, real quick. That might be a reason, I could also consider running the tutors. I know that Imperial Seal is only one black. I mean, excuse me, 1 point for Canadian Highlander, and just going to, seriously, like Loam runs almost everything in this deck. It's kind of dumb. This deck is basically lands from Legacy, hidden and disguised as something else. I don't know why Life from the Loam isn't many points, honestly, because the card is unbelievably gross. But I think for the same reason that other cards aren't, the designers of the format have certain beliefs about what's good in the format. And they may be more correct, as I have this very inbred metagame here where I'm only able to play against the decks that 5CBS is able to play against me and Brian's decks as well. I'm not getting enough opponents, so it could turn out that Tithe is beautiful right here, isn't it? Yeah, we'll yield to that. All right, so blue and red. And I'm fully expecting that if my opponent is playing the way I would be playing, then they just got themselves a loam and I'm in big trouble. But there's always a chance they got a threat that I can take out either with Bolt or Dak. Like that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Man, that's lovely. So they're not running loam, he's running Crucible instead. Quite inferior, actually. Since it can be interacted with and loam essentially can't. Scoop phase. Dak Fade and Loam, incidentally, quite a gnarly combo. Okay. Yeah, maybe Dig and Cruise ought to be Intuition and Merchant Scroll. Because I really just want to get that rock in as soon as I can. Narset is good, but I suppose he's probably going to Impulse and then I'm going to Bolt it. Or set to stop my visions. Yeah, that's fine. When I has a preordain. Now I'll just target myself with Dak Faden. Ha ha ha. I kid, I kid. All right, so what do we got here? Oh, there's there's that guy. All right, so we can certainly try him out. Creature or land. So let's plus up. So what do I want to do? Do I want to throw away like, oh, I want to throw away Bayou because I actually want to keep Bayou. So the easiest way to keep it is to throw it away. And then I want to play the Runic Armasaur. I want to try it out. So let's do that and see what happens. So this dig is getting pretty saucy. We got an ancestral waiting in the wings over here. If you ever activate, my opponent ever activates. So instead of Vantress, I think the land you should be using is the island that puts a card from your graveyard on top of your library. It's actually a card that I ought to consider, the instant or sorcery. But there's just only so many lands I can cram in here. So what does he do? +2, he pings something. -X. It makes a vampire come into play. Or no, it makes a creature come out. I really ought to consider, but what I can do is I can ping it with, well, it's +2. That thing is going to grow out of control very fast. Which one of these is better? Jace actually has more potential than Dig because it can replay, it can flip lands into the graveyard for Crucible, and then it can play. But Dig is good right now. If I get a blue, I don't know. God, I hate to do it with a Dig through time, but I mean, I have this Ancestral coming. I have extra cards coming. Excuse me. What I need is tempo. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is absolutely lovely. All right, let's see here. Find some lands. Okay, land I don't want, and Leovold and Narset are kind of redundant, but I want to get. God dang, everything in here is incredible. I could K-command the Jace back to my hand. Yeah, I guess I will throw away the Jace now. So I'll get this Delta down. Go ahead and fetch. So we'll get an Underground, I think. Or Trop. Looks like, no, I'm fine. I guess I'll get an Underground. And then before I do anything else, let's do this and then follow up with the rest. This thing not doing much. But I don't know what's in my opponent's hand. Dak and this could be causing him not to, like play certain things that might otherwise make it to play. Yeah, I guess I'll plus. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna target my opponent with Narset. What am I doing? So let's get or Leovold. Green, black. Let's use the least amount of blue possible. Just for tempo and with the K command, I'm more than happy to make this exchange here. I'm going to go ahead and fetch right now because I don't want, and I'm going to get a trop. That way I can possibly activate the goose if I want to. Now we've got Disrupting Scepter running. Very nice. I should have attacked first, I suppose, but got a Spell Pierce and a Consecrated Sphinx. It's excellent. I'm glad that I went Leovold and not Narset there. Yeah, that's pretty weak against Leovold. You're more than welcome to have that. Short. Creature or land. I wish it just said permanent, so it was like a hoser for planeswalkers. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the card's just not that good. I mean, it's good, but maybe it's not that good, right? Yeah, you get nothing. I was hoping he'd just play something that wasn't super important and then I'd be able to make some food, but this is definitely death. Runic Armosaur, I cannot decide what that card's doing for me. Maybe I just want Crucible myself. I mean, the effect is so good. Or if not Crucible, then if not Crucible, then perhaps Ramanap. The only thing is it feels super silly once you get the rest going. Once you get your loam running, it's super weak. I mean, it's a fat butt. I think the card that I want, I don't actually have. It's the cheap Teferi. It's just a really frustrating card to have to deal with. Let me see if I can get a hold of one. I don't know what they cost. See if I can get one. So that guy. Oops. 54 tickets. Holy crap. All right. No, we're not going to go that route. So something else. I might just go with the flexible removal. See, the other card I was thinking about is Liliana. I also like Shadow Mage or something along those lines. There's also, besides Shadow Mage, there's the other one that's the Thief of Sanity. 5 CBS has played it against me to pretty good effect. It's been a very scary card to have to deal with. There is, of course, also Yawgmoth's Will, but Jace pretty good. Jace is actually really good with maybe I want to try Jace. So Jace is really good with the Leovold effects, right? Or no? No, they won't stop the opponent from drawing on my turn, actually. So that is not actually true. So maybe I don't want Jace. Medium Jace. Well, there's something to be said for just not getting mana screwed. I'm going to leave that in there for now, and then we'll play. Okay. So to get around Blood Moon, I have a few things. I have the Lantern, which you can always play if there's a moon in effect. But I also have the ability to, and it's not exactly great, but I have a Rift. Where is it? Riftstone Portal. Riftstone Portal, where are you? There it is. So Riftstone Portal gives all your lands the ability to tap for green or white, but only if it's in your graveyard. So you can actually discard it to hand size, you can sack it to Zern Orb, you can flip it to Loam, or Escanta, or Jace, or I think that's, for the most part, it. Oh, Fact or Fiction. So if it makes its way into your graveyard at any way, then you can pitch it to Dak Faden. So there's a lot of ways you can get it into your graveyard, in theory. The problem is against a Blood Moon, if the deck's aggressive, got an aggressive start and they moon you early, you might be in a situation where you just don't have time to get Rift Stone Portal into your graveyard. Lantern can help with that, possibly. But yeah, not super, like, it's a card that I don't want to play with, but it's a card that I might have to. Also, all right, so let's see if we get a game here. Also, I mean, the other thing, besides being hedge against Blood Moon, it's pretty good to just be able to play your cards, and the mana doesn't always develop the way you want it to, plus people can disrupt, and having a Lantern can be nice. There's also one other like corner case, which is something like where you get a Lantern in play as your opponent is doing something along the lines of Crucible or Loam stripping you, and so they get you down to almost no mana or no mana. But you get you hold a land and you've got a Lantern, and so if you can get a balance, you can return the favor on a turn and possibly catch up, get back in the game. So particularly if you are able to orb that land away, hold one or two lands like in your hand, so that you can land or balance them down to nothing. Can be pretty good. Or what you can do is you can play a fetch land so that they can't strip it for that turn, and then on the next turn you can fetch, balance. You can balance and then play a land for the turn, and you're the first person to make land drops, and you'd be up 2 mana to their 1. So they'd go land the Loam or whatever, and then you get your third land drop and start developing, so that if they want to play Loam games while you're beating them down or winning, it doesn't really work out for them. And of course, you can get to where you Lantern a land and cast Loam yourself, and if they're doing it with Loam, they skip their draw step to make you skip yours. You basically get in this kind of thing where you can consistently hit land drops, and it's because you have one alternate source of mana. Hopefully we're going to get a game up. Excuse me, sorry about that. I'm actually not sure. Okay, there we go. I was say I have a game floating whenever he's ready, but looks like he's ready. So this is a super risky keep with a big payout if a fetch land shows up on either side of the board. Well, potentially big payout. I'm gonna take it, I think. Such tremendous upside. I mean, obviously my opponent will want to seek to avoid playing a fetch here. Oh, this is bad. Okay, I didn't get to rest. I guess that's good. Let's see if I can Oh, like a champ. Okay, so I'm in the game at least. Beautiful. We'll go top, top. And then I'll just yield. I can ding my opponent for 2 here if they make a play that I can exile. Or I can target my own preordain if I really wanted to. And I think it makes a certain amount of sense to do exactly that. I'm not going to Snapcaster preordain, I don't think. So let's just get damage while we can. All right, so, excuse me. So there's a lot of things, sorry. So there's a lot of things I can do here. The safe play is to go get a Spellseeker down. More risky play, I can actually run out Jace here and set myself up for a Ren in 6 turn, or run out Nahiri here. What I want to get is green. So either tropical or, yeah, looks like tropical. So that I have the backup. I can play Ren in 6 if the Deathrite dies. My opponent definitely has a counterspell, so the question is, how do I want to do this? I might just play Spellseeker. So if he's got Remand or whatever, it's not, I don't want to exile my land. So I think I'll play Spellseeker, because if he's got a negate effect, then he won't be able to use it. If it's like a memory or a mana leak or whatever, I don't care that much. So I do want to get a 1-drop, probably. So I can get Plowshares or Brainstorm or Bolt. Or I can get Ancestral Visions and just float it. I really like this play, actually. Let's do that. I'm going to... That's actually really interesting. I never considered that you can Spellseeker for the Ancestral early like that. That's awesome. All right, so the Ancestral puts pressure on my opponent to kind of like, they know that they're in trouble if they don't threaten the board, so they kind of want to threaten the board. Sorry, I got my son has got fingerprints on the monitor here. Okay. I'm just going to get land, but that's not land in play, so I still like the Wasteland play here. I see he's working around my Deathrite with that play. But I can just Wasteland, take out a land anyway. Usually I like to attack blue, but I think I would rather attack white here. What did my opponent return? Verdant? Yeah, I'd rather attack white here because I want... I'm not worried about counter magic too much. Opponent really doesn't have time for that. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get cooking. Alright, so... Edict not looking great. And I'll put... Alright, I want to hide something from discard, right? I guess I'll put the Heath away, and I'll hide Ren and 6 on top. So a really good turn for me because the deck's fairly low curve, and with this extra mana, I'm able to do just a little bit more than my opponent each turn. So we've got 3 counters on vision. I'm going to go ahead and just close that out. We'll just keep an eye on it. Okay. Yeah, good choice. Land can be very broken. Okay. So opponent's not going to smash in, which I agree with. But of course this puts him in a spot. Okay, so I don't want to, I guess I don't mind shuffling away Edict at the moment, although, 3-1 pro everything, pro me is a problem. So perhaps, just trying to decide here, key command snap, worldly council, and the Hiri. Don't really want to shuffle any cards away. I'm not willing to run a Ren and 6 out into a bot. I feel like there's a counter waiting for me, so I want to get this off the table. I don't care about losing card advantage here because, yeah, I think I'll just hide an Edict. No, I think I'll do it this way. Let's just bolt this thing. I'm hoping this will draw out some kind of reaction. Okay. But it's not that. Gonna fall for that. But it sets me up for snap bolt if I want it, death right activation if I want to do that, K command or edict. So pretty good stuff, I think. So my opponent goes 3-1 pro everything, then I've got this game wrapped up. All right, so I don't want to draw a Nahiri. I would like to draw the impulse, so I think what I'll do is just get some life and eat this. I think I put them in the wrong order, but it doesn't matter. I've got Chase. Counterspell helps. All right, so I guess I'm not going to worry about Edict anymore. And probably Nahiri is just a little bit slow. I want to keep my curve low, so we'll just run these guys out like that. All right, so at this point, feeling pretty good here. We're going to go Ren in 6 next turn, because either my opponent's going to make a play that I'm going to interact with, or they're not, and if they don't, then I will be able to make a play and back it up with the counter. I don't want to have to do that. Hopefully I can solve whatever threat they're going to play with something else. So I know that I've got an edict hiding on top. Yep, expedition map. I don't know what my opponent's going for here. Card is just not that great when you don't have, yeah, strip mine, sure. Okay, so I should probably exile their Wasteland here, even though it's a less targets for me, but I think it's too good of a card not to. So, and then I don't want the top card of my library, and I do want to impulse for 5, so I'm going to go ahead and fetch here. I'm going to do it this way because that still leaves me with black mana. Let's go 5 deep. Leovold looks real good. So does Mana Leak. So for 2 mana, yeah, I'm winning. So let's just get Mana Leak and hold the win in place. Okay, that's coming off suspension. So we'll go ahead and grab a bunch of cards here. Nice. Now we've got Ren plus Strip. So go ahead and strip now so I don't have to fight over that. And then red, green, Ren. Pick up ye old strip mine. Opponent's going to scoop. Okay. Very nice. Very, very fun deck. Nice low curve, good aggression. Still not sure about these two versus the Intuition Scroll. I could go Intuition Scroll, and then I'm also not sure about this one. I could also pull these and just run Jitte, which is what I had in the past. Jitte, and then one open slot. There's other card drawing. They're just super compact and efficient. Oh, yeah, that's a keep. See, this is the card that you want. Like, my opponent was tutoring for strip mines and stuff. This is the card that you should be spending 1 point on. It's a single point to just randomly win the game, right? And turns Expedition Map into a massive threat. I mean, opponent has to solve this problem right now. Nope. Well, it could be handy later. That could be handy now. All right, so we'll get a green-white because can't assume that the goose is going to live, so we'll get a savanna here. Set the goose loose. Man, how good does it feel to just open with the library going second? It's just such a good feeling. Okay, so what's going on? Does opponent have a solution here? Just bolt the goose or something? Yep. I'll tap in response because that's the responsible thing to do. I'm not going to force will that though. Okay, hopefully they can hit a drop here. I could just go like land, bolt my opponent's head, but that's just kind of dumb. Could impulse. I think at this point it's okay to throw away a card. So I can throw away balance. It's an incredible card, but when you're running library like this, I don't think it really is suitable for this game. And I can always get it later with Snapcaster maybe. I'm gonna regret it if my opponent runs out a TNN. That's the name of the card that I was trying to think of before. All right, so let's tap to draw. And impulse. Oh yeah, force of will. Okay, plateau's pretty good. I can also run out. Get that island down so that I have a counter ready to go. I think I'm just going to bin the plateau. I can go get scrub with this, and then that fixes my mana pretty well. I have to tap to, so I want to tap to draw here, then go get scrub. So if I cast this to get scrub, my opponent like counters it, say mental missteps it or something, that I can't tap to draw. So we don't want that happening. So we'll draw first, although I don't want to draw the scrub land here, so that would be a reason not to do it this way, but it's much better than giving my opponent a way to mess with me. All right, so I would really like to stop discarding, so in order to do that, I plan to, all right, threat that I do care about or threat that I don't care about. I want to play probably Nahiri because, well, I could play Brea and my opponent. Mana Drain, of course, is a card, right? I want to be concerned with that, but I could K-command the Brea back to my hand. Nahiri is more of a surprise card. And I still have, but if I play Nahiri, I've actually got 4 cards that I can force with in total. And I think that's a little safer. So we'll run this out. If I do need to, if it's a mana drain, I probably need to force a will it, so I should tap to draw. But if it's any other counter, it's probably fine. Because now what we're doing is we're just duressing the opponent. Well, that's definitely fine. All right, so I'll just plus. And I do not wish to discard a card, actually. Nope, my hand is quite fine. And of course, if he attacks, then it's just dead on board, right? Attacks with Colonnade and Mind Sensor. Well, it would need something like Ancient Tomb. No, there's very little likelihood that that's going to happen. Let's draw. That does stop the library action, so do not want that in play. So force that with... So I want to force a negation this, but I hate force a negationing because of Loam being in the format, but I think I have to. I kind of don't care about... Well, I'm not sure which card I don't care about here. I guess I don't care about Beret as much, even though it's a better card. Because True Name I can play and still have a mana up if I draw a land. All right, let's get a card here. Okay, well I didn't... Could pitch the bird. Do I even want to discard? I'm not sure that I do. I can force with this. This is a threat. This is good. No, I think I'm fine. I'll just get the bird down. Question is, do I want to kill this thing with like a K command, for example, or just be done? I think I just want to be done. Gives me evasive action. If my opponent has a wasteland, I can still evasive. The K command represents a card that goes back to my hand, so if I need to kill this for some reason or anything else, I can kill it, and I'm still on library comfortably. Oh, excuse me. True Name, on the other hand. All right, so if it wants to attack Nahiri, then I just exile this thing, and that's that. Don't think you want to do that. And if my opponent doesn't, well, then we're back to library. Tap to win game. Library sure makes this deck look good, doesn't it? This is actually, honestly, one of the reasons I love this format, because I love this card so much. So I could go get anything, but I'm not going to do that. I am, however, going to discard Mystical Teachings and draw a card, since it has flashback. Go ahead and draw here. So now I can go, I got Ancestral Forces, so I can go Narset, Dak, my opponent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Just missing a little bit of mana, so I think Narset is good, though. Hard for my opponent to stay in this game at this point. I could bolt the Mind Sensor and subtract Narset, but then I potentially, this thing will kill Narset, which I do not want. So if my opponent wants to put all their mana into, also there's this guy, right? So either one of them bad. So that's what I want to bolt, ideally. So I'm actually going to get no cards here. And I may actually, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, I may actually need to chomp with the Haven Mind Sensor and bolt this is a possibility. I probably wouldn't have to. 1, 2, 3, activate this, attack Narset. But if my opponent maybe made this a 4/4 and then it sent both creatures at, say, Narset, then I could just bolt the Mind Sensor, I guess, and leave the 4/4, or I could chump bolt it. The bird not really mattering too much at that point. So, one second, I was getting texted. I just want to see what that was regarding. Okay, start a new game. Okay, I'll deal with the text messages in a bit. Ooh, very nice. This is definitely making Lantern look a little bit stronger. If I can draw a plains, if I can draw a source of white for the Wayfarer and play it, and it lives, and I get to use it, then I just go get library, right? So lots of ifs, but sometimes you get lucky. So we are very close to finding out if that is now. Okay. I don't like the fact that that's black mana over there. Don't like that at all. Mind Twist for one? No, Collective Brutality. And card from hand. Interesting. Takes out a K command. So I get to Jace possibly with Grudge. We'll see. I mean, that thing dies, but pretty good spot all together. I've got another card that's almost a must kill me type of card. If my opponent were to like say play an artifact here, I could just flip Grudge out and play Lantern and then flash it back immediately. And if not, of course, we've got TNN. Okay, 2 cards in hand. Almost got this. Uh-oh, he didn't float an Ancestral, did he? No, okay, just tapping out for some reason. All right, 2 cards in hand. Let's start applying the pressure now. Turn 1, kill me. Turn 2, must kill me. Turn 3, must kill me. Very hard start to deal with. I don't know about this Lantern. As good as it was looking there, you see why I cut it, because it's like I need business, and here it is just being, I don't know, something else. Right, non-business card here. Could really regret having this card. We'll see. All right, so I want to brainstorm, hopefully shuffle some of this away. Well, okay, I guess the Lantern would be nice here. So we'll put, I haven't seen a use for this yet. My opponent knows I have it, so it's not a surprise. So I'm going to put the land, I want to hit land, so. All right, so it looks like, so if you're my opponent, you're probably thinking that, yeah, there we go. That everything's all right. So I left this on tap. You know, I was thinking, hey, if there's some way my opponent can gain life and make me discard, I suppose I can pick up Punishing Fire, but obviously unlikely. All right, I'm going to attempt to kill the Jace first, even though that's not the bigger threat. Because if there's a counter, okay, good. All right. Very nice. All right, so I've got fire up. Then I've got a Grudge on top. I'm not super excited about that, but I mean, the Lantern was good here. Let me cast Judgment, but if it had been an action card, it would have been better. I could have waited on the Judgment. It could have been a card that killed the 3/3, for example, and then I would have the Judgment still in my hand. Okay, opponent didn't gain any life there. Okay. This card's so dumb. It really is just dumb. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, heck, imagine if this had been like Sword of Fire and Ice. Game's super over, right? No cards in hand, okay. No action. Well, not entirely. It does increase the clock by, well, not quite a turn. Not quite a turn, but it does prevent my opponent from using Mana Confluence here. Shivan Reef's Pain without dying next turn. Yep. So actually the Noble Hierarch was relevant there just because of his Confluence, for example, just shutting off that access to that mana, this Stone Rain almost. Unless the card that my opponent plays kills it. Yuck, Geist. That's a card that I really should consider using. It's a totally insane card. Alright, Scroll Rack. Let's get rid of this.
Not by yourself. I can't do it by myself. You can just go to bed then.
So I was hoping I would have won the game there. I'm in big trouble. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't count lethal here. 2, yeah, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, excuse me. But I still don't see lethal here, and I do have a chump block here, so... Hopefully it's just like Batter Skull or something. Don't be great. Whatever it is. It's pretty good, but it's not lethal. Yeah, 2, 4, 8, 9. Very close. Close game. Can't bolt me because they can't tap their lands. So Noble Hierarch damage. Very important there, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There it is. Good game. So I would have drawn and then gotten to look at 3 new cards. Surely would have been okay, but not great. Pretty cool. Interesting. Yeah, how do I feel about the lantern? I still don't know. That's the worst part about it. I really kind of want this. I want to be able to Stoneforge for a way to get creatures off the board. And also, it's just a crazy card, right? Great card drawing, great for ending a game quickly. And pretty good when I don't have Jitte like I want to have in here. Okay. Yeah, that's a keep. Really don't like having my one island. I have one island for cards like Path to Exile and such. So I don't particularly like starting with it in my opener. But I don't want to go... But I do want to brainstorm and get rid of whatever it is that I don't want to see. Also, with brainstorm, I could possibly set up a brainstorm teachings Iskanta thing where I flip the flashback card. It is a little bit more secure against not Strip Mine, but Wasteland, so I guess I'll lead with that. Maybe this will seem like, oh, okay, well, Grudge is probably more likely to be useful. It's cheaper anyway. All right, so what I want, red, green, Taiga, and then go for an Ascanta or go for a spec. I suspect I'm getting countered here either way, but my opponent did mulligan, so not only are they low likelihood to have a counter, but they're also, if it's not like a mana drain or a remand, something really painful, a counter there would have reduced their hand size by a quarter, right, from 4 to 3 cards. So this might have been better as, oh gosh, spec, only because like I'm digging for lands, but so I could run out Snapcaster just to Geist, or I can get greedy and try to quiet spec and then Snapcaster. I mean, I need to stop this thing. I need to try. Like, I'd love this Snapcaster Brainstorm here, but card advantage is not my problem here. Living long enough to make the card advantage that I already have count is my problem. I'll try. Bolt, huh? Okay, well. Need to hit some mana. I do not like facing this card at all. Go away, Force of Will. Desperate search for mana. Doesn't survive. Yep, I'm so dead. This is just dumb. God, I hate Geist. Maybe I should just run Geist instead of the sword. Like, I hate this card so much. Hexproof is the worst. It's such a dead card in Commander and so insane in one-on-one. Sure, take whatever. I mean, I'm trying to get the Leovold. That actually makes me able to flip search, which is really nice. I can hit a white for a Brea. No, I won't be able to play Brea because double blue won't do it. So, I mean, I'm near dead. Come on, search. You're supposed to find me land here. Holy crap, I cannot find it. Yes, I want to transform it. Unreal. This lack of land is unreal. So I think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. I mean, I can, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a way to live. Cards that I don't want to draw. Once again, I've died to Geist. So yesterday we were playtesting, and the game that he won, it was the exact same thing. It was just literally play Geist, and then I die. Oh, sorry, correction. It was play Geist against me while I'm mana screwed, and then I die. So I don't see any way out of this except Deathrite can get me a mana. So there is a way. Okay, so there's a way I could live. I have to go to 1. Deathrite has to live. I have to get land that doesn't deal damage to me. And then I have to play Brea, and then I can block both creatures. That's it. Oh, and my opponent can't counterspell. Yeah. Okay. And they can't burn me out. Oh, God. I'm dead. All right, sure. That's fine. He's got K command right there. God, that's frustrating. Don't know about Sword of Fire and Ice, that's for sure. It's so frustrating. Like, that card is just dumb. I probably should just run it. It's so dumb. Like, it's incredibly non-interactive, right? Like, it's just instant death for anybody who doesn't have a card that gets it off the board. I mean, it's so hard to block. Anyway, painful agony of Geist of St. Traft. So let's get green. No force, please. No force of negation. Okay, good. Good. Not going to loam. I don't have time to loam, I don't think. Like, I don't want to mess around with loam right now. So cool. I've got council here. I can spec. I guess I don't care too much if that's dealt with. I mean, opponent didn't make a play, so if I actually think I'm done here. So if my opponent doesn't make a play, right, and they have a counter here, then by making a play, I'm actually making their mana good. If I don't make a play here, then okay. So we'll go ahead and cancel in response. Go 4 deep. Kind of want Scroll Rack, funny enough, against Stack Faden, right? But I want Scroll Rack because I want to complete the combo Scroll Rack Life from the Loam, so I'll take that anyway. Oh, any order's fine, and I can run that out. Now I got to be careful because of, I think I need to judgment that off. So do I want to loam into like a knight here and threaten to kill Dak? I think I do. Loam here because I might hit, well, I didn't hit it, but I would have very much liked to have hit a land there. But at the least, I can make my guy a 4/4, and then we can take it from there. It was triple miss. A little bad. But it also is charging up the treasure cruise, so... It has a very slow start. This card's pretty interesting. Mothas the Fiendseeker. Mothas Fiendseeker is real interesting. Okay, so now I can deal with one or the other. So I'll go get a land that I'm willing to sacrifice to the Knight of the Reliquary. So I'll go get like, I won't get like a blue-black here. I'll get green something. So green what? Maybe blue-green. I could get Taiga, but I think I'll just get the come into play tapped land. So what I really want is land that I can put in the graveyard right now so that I can, that's beautiful, so that I can smoke that Mantis Rider with the Council's Judgment. So we'll get a taiga here, and then I could attack Dak Fade and see if my opponent blocks, but then I don't get to use my guy. I think I'd rather just pull the trigger on Judgment Day here and eliminate this. I could just ignore Dak Faden for a bit and just start strip mining my opponent. That might actually be wiser. It might actually be wiser. Yeah, Bayou. Go be a Wasteland or a strip mine. I guess I'll do Wasteland here since take out the white and loam. 7/7 is hard to kill. 7/7 6/6 5/5 4/4 still big enough. 6/6 5/5 4/4. Yeah, big enough to live, and we'll yield through the turn. So I just want to make sure that I don't shrink him down too much. All right, so we've got loam lock here started, possibly. If my opponent doesn't have a solution pretty quick, because I can go Wasteland and strip mine off of the tapping the knight. If they play a threat that's legendary, I can go get my own Krakus. No, I don't think I want a loam. Don't want double blue interaction over there. So I could tap for mana. I want to strip mine my opponent. So I'll go ahead and just move into clearing out that mana. So the question is, if I strip mine my opponent here, do I even care? I don't think I care if I don't have the mana available to me. I just don't want it available to them. Oh, okay. Strange. But sure. So I can cruise loam. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. I'm going to leave Council's Judgment. I'm going to leave, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll leave basic. We'll leave lands in there, 6. And yeah, we'll just take the Wasteland. That's fine. Grab these guys. Discarding some lands I don't care about. Making him big enough to survive. Mainly I just wanted Wasteland. Sure. Is he going to target my knight? I guess that's pretty bad, actually. I should have thought about that. That's not good play. But Dak Faden's gone now, so I've got Scroll Rack available. So, just a matter of time. Nimble Obstructionist. Such a completely random... Yeah, sure. So an 8-8 is scary. I don't have time to mess with that. Blue, red, blue, white. Gotta guess the white, I guess. What's the mana? Yep. All right, so pretty worried about what's going to happen here, so I'll go ahead and play this. I can easily lose this game, unfortunately. I definitely screwed up with deck fade in there. Too greedy. All right, well. Oh, God. Sure. All right, that takes me to 1. So I go to 1. I'm going to be able to scroll rack. I'm looking for balance, obviously. I don't know that I can survive without a blocker also. And a blocker kind of means green, but it could mean white, and that's the problem. I don't know. Could be black, white, green. Don't know. Oh, there's also STP. So if I look at 5 cards, I may hit a land. I guess I'll just go for it and then see what happens. I'm gonna rack all 5. I'm not gonna play a land ahead of time. Because I kind of know right now if I even have a chance. Doesn't look like I do. God damn it. Pardon my language. That was just a complete screw up. I don't know what I was doing there. That was about as dumb as it could get. Oh, God, that was stupid. I still don't like this Sword of Fire and Ice slot. I don't like this 3 slot that I've got there. Don't like it at all. So we'll go ahead and get the tithe down. Man, I'm upset at myself for that. What a dumb way to lose. Yeah, Intuition Merchant Scroll? Don't know. Battlegun Shackles, maybe? I need to figure it out. I know it isn't going to be Nimble Obstructionist. Yeah, I completely flubbed that game on the deck fade and ultimate. Like, what am I doing there? I guess greed, but just stupid greed. All I had to do is attack deck fade and get him off the board so I could get my scroll rack going. Like, I have Loam, Strip Mine, Scroll Rack. Like, there's no reason not to press and try to get even more value, right? Like, just win the game. So the question is, do I want to tutor land here? I don't think that I do. The correct card for my opponent to take anyway is Quiet Speculation, so I'll hold the Tithe so that I can go turn to Jace and then Okay. At least I think the correct card was to go get quiet spec, but heck, what do I know? So I kind of want to get black so that I can play that Leovold if I get an opportunity, but I really don't want to get black. I could just get tropical, even though that doesn't help me with my mana very much, because any land will let me play Leovold there, but I think I have to get black. So the reason I get black here is because this way any source of blue will get me a Leovold. No, no, darling, my stomach doesn't feel too great, so thank you. Sorry about that. All right, let's see what we got here. Hopefully Jace lives. Oh, my Jace lives, but so does his. Of course, if I get Leovold down, excuse me, if I get Leovold down, then that Jace activation has to be on my turn at the very least. Find a land, please. No. Lovely. Let's find a land, please. Oh, that's a heck of a land. A little bit slow here. I can spec into deep, possibly. I do need to flip that Jace before it dies, if I can. So many things that can go wrong right now. Okay, that's good. That is very good. All right, let's attempt to flip. Excellent. Okay, so what I want to cache. So I might get rid of Tarmogoyf as much as I love the card. I can also get rid of Dak. It relies on me getting, and then there's Glenn. Glenn is very expensive. This hand doesn't line up well with what's going on over there. So I can impulse back into my hand. Wait, if I hit cancel, do I lose? Okay, good. I don't lose my chance. Yeah, so I could impulse back into my hand. What is going on here? Another nimble obstructionist. It's hilarious. I think that card's kind of garbage, but, you know. It's a card. All right. Black. Is there any way to get red? Black-red would get me almost there. Black-red would get me set up for both of these. So yeah, let's go black-red. And then green, black, oops, blue, black. Okay. So can't activate it on my turn. Well, can, but it's foolish. Skip your draw step unless you find removal. Cool. Skipped draw step. I like that. I'll just yield. So hopefully I can get Dak down here and then go after my opponent's hand. Jace I draw. Okay. Almost in library mode with that play. You can actually get library. If I could draw a land here. No. So if I drew a land there, I could have gone spec, deep analysis, activate library. Although, honestly, I'm not sure that that's even for the best. What I could do is I could go Snapcaster, either Impulse or Tithe, probably Impulse. Although Snapcaster can be targeted with this thing, I may just want to get Dak Faden down. Another one's Tarmogoyf Quiet Spec. Actually, don't see any. Oh, there is a sorcery, so he would not grow. So if I go Leovold, I mean, Leovold just shuts off. This is the best choice because if my opponent does decide that they need to bounce the Leo, I draw a card, then it bounces, then I get to activate library. So, and this just keeps him off from doing anything too meaningful with Jace. Okay. Now I can, I don't know, duress me? I can Jace Impulse again. They can baby Jace Impulse, I suppose. Do need to get some mana, but it's a pretty nice hand. I can get it, start getting it on board. My son. God, I've been suffering from this just horrible headache all day. There we go. Okie dokie. Goodbye, mana drain. Okay. No reason to replay anything here. Still locked into this Leovold play. Oops, yeah, black, blue, green. As long as that Jace is on board. I'm glad, honestly, that my opponent was able to beat me on games that I misplay. Like, I should lose on games I misplay. I should get into the habit of that happening. Okay, and then my opponent should be able to capitalize as well. So I don't actually have time to spec here, and I really don't care. I don't need the card advantage. That's the easiest one to exile, so let's just pitch that. All right, so Leovold's down. This is bad. So now my opponent gets to do something with the Jace over there. Two cards in hand versus all these, but so much more mana than me. It's just not good. I could play as Zarnora, but I don't I don't see any reason to shove a Zern Orb onto the table necessarily. I suppose something better might be Tarmogoyf, tap to draw and hope to find a land. I mean, I really need to find some mana. I suppose I could play Zern Orb and then tap to draw. Think about, like, I want to be able to Snapcaster. I need to get some mana going. There we go. Okay. A lot of the stress is relieved by that. So what I can do is I can Snapcaster Mana Drain something. Or I can play Tarmogoyf, but then I still have to Snapcaster in order to get that Jace off the table. Like that's the goal here, is to get the Jace off the table. My son's pretty excited. Star Wars is about to start. And I don't know that he's actually seen it. I should actually, as soon as we're done with the games for the evening, I should go join them. Evasive action. So I let my opponent have the evasive action here, which feels like a huge mistake. I should have flashed in Snapcaster in response to that, targeting Mana Drain. Then attempt to Mana Drain this, it would get countered by evasive action. I guess that doesn't really help me too much if I were to have done that. I could forbid here, but like I know that the evasive action's there in the graveyard, so I don't see any value in doing anything here. So I can get Brea down, possibly. I suppose the advantage would have been to just tap some mana over there. Wow, did they really draw a duress effect? That's just man, frustrating. Tasigur. Well, that kind of sucks too, but I can deluge that. Still can't get the Jace off the board. Oh, my opponent's tapping mana. Lovely. So I can mana drain that just to drain, just to have one extra mana. I can forbid it. So I actually want to do something here because I don't want, or do I? I mean, I kind of don't want extra cards in my opponent's hand. I can also just impulse, like snap impulse. It's kind of weak. Am I that eager to use Snapcaster? I can, if I take this card out of my opponent's hand, right, I know that the top two cards, they don't want it. So if I counter this, clear the board, opponent starts rebuilding. I don't have a counter up. Or I can snap drain it, clear the board. I actually like, I don't love snap drain because I can't get white. So this is the problem I'm running into. I do think that I will counter this. As weird as that is. Just options. I don't want two new cards on the top of my opponent's library. Bad enough what I'm dealing with at the moment. Okay, let's tap to draw. There we go. Now that's what I needed. So let's go get white. Plateau or scrub plateau for sure. Deluge for 5. Waiting on this. Hoping very much. Okay, good. Get rid of this thing. Plus and be done. That's the point where the game turned. So now we've got 2 cards on top that my opponent doesn't want to draw. So I can just bolt that thing down with my Jace if I wish. And I do wish. Okay. Alright, let's get Tarmogoyf. And I think I will play the map. I've got Cruise to get back to library if I have to force a will, so I want to be able to... What I want to do is, of course I can put the card back in my hand with the map, but it requires mana and time. So I'd rather Cruise... I might be, but this way, if I don't have that time for some reason, then I can just Cruise library immediately. So, sorry about that. Excuse me. I'm trying to fight a cough here. Not really willing to force a will that. Would like to draw land. Very nice. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So we can go. And just take that thing out right now. And once again, if I need to force, I can get right back into library mode. If my opponent played Blood Moon here, I could, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could take a land away from my opponent by just gaining some life right here, so let's do that. Oh, fails to find? Yeah, whatever. Okay. There's no beating the library running like this. Excuse me. So, hold on. Let me just leave this. So Sword of Fire and Ice is not the card. I don't know what the card is, but it's not that. I do feel like I want a 3-drop. But it is just not that. Could just be Crucible or a Crucible-like card. There's something to be said for a Ramanop, for example. There's something to be said for just being able to hit your land drops, right? Like, so important. Also, Story Circle is a very good controlling card, but I don't think I want to run that. There's also Will. Um, I might just. I might play the Vindicate. I'd like for the card to be blue if I can help it. You know what it'll be? It's going to be Electrolyze. See, what did he say? Yeah. Yeah, let's just make it Electrolyze. I kind of like this. If I don't know what the card should be, I want it to be something that I want it to be something that draws cards. I want it to be something that's blue that I can force with. I want it to be something that interacts with my opponent's board. Electrolyze meets all those requirements. It's a pretty darn good card. So it'll help against control or aggro to some extent. All right. Yeah, his Platinum Empyrean was definitely not getting him there. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, wow. Possible first turn kill. Opponent has to have Strip Mine. This is risky because if my opponent does have Strip Mine and I don't find some land, well, I'm going first actually. Yeah, this is super risky. I'm going to take that risk though. My opponent does find Strip Mine here. It's pretty bad for me. But, because his hand doesn't really have, it doesn't develop properly without some help. Okay, there we go. So I could have played the, I could have sat on Swords of Plowshares here, but I think this makes more sense. There may be a reason to play Narset next turn and forego Library. Like if my opponent goes like turn 2, 0-2 Jace, for example, I might like to play Narset. Okay, card from hand doesn't quite get you there. Doesn't shut the library down. Yeah, I'll go with Electro. So, God, this headache is agonizing. I've taken multiple, I've taken like every kind of pain med that's legal. Very nice. Okay, so I have ways to get cards into the graveyard at instant speed. I've got a little Brainstorm Tithe action going that's pretty nice. Get cards in the graveyard at instant speed for Grim Lavamancer if I need to use them for some reason. It's like if my opponent played like, say, Flame Tongue Kavu, then, you know, I might like to kill it on the way down, so. So I can Tithe and then Brainstorm away the cards, or I can Brainstorm first and then Tithe away the cards. I don't really need extra cards because of the library, so I'd prefer to Brainstorm first and then Tithe away the cards. So we'll dump. Not looking... Well, I could just dump lands. I want Colosseum for Narset. Grove in case I draw. Yeah, let's do it this way. Grove in case I draw... Oh, actually, never mind. My count was off anyway. I only get to draw one land here. But Grove in case I draw Punishing Fire, of course. Miscalc. Okay. I will definitely duress a counterspell and be happy about it. Let's get this down and then this guy. I'll do this just because I have Force of Will in hand, so I need another card in hand for... Oh, Edict is very nice. It's insurance against... I mean, I'd like Skull Clamp, but I'll take the insurance against True Name. Or that other card that wrecked me. The card that I was agonizing over, the 2/2 untargetable thing. Oh yeah, that's what I keep forgetting to swap that in for the sword. I mean, I might as well play that card. If it's destroyed me multiple times, and it has, then I probably should be using it. Like whatever the weapon is that's good against me is the weapon I should be using against others. Lightning Angel. So if I force this guy, because I didn't leave a Plowshares up, I lose 3 counter spells just to protect a Narset. No, I don't think so. And I get off library. So, all right, you got my Narset. That was... Oops. Figured I should leave Grim up. Didn't think about the possibility of Lightning Angel. I do want more blue in play. Let's go ahead and draw. Let's do it this way. I don't want to lose to, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could leave Plow up, but I think this is a little smarter. This leaves both Glen and Grim up. And Sower of Temptation's a real card, so... Sure. Also, there's a whole, like, trade with your guys and then just shoot. Yeah, which I'm willing to do. Because I'm winning, so I need to get tempo. We don't want to draw Brainstorm or Tithe compared to these two cards anyway. So if there's some kind of Time Twister effect happening here, okay. Draw. I could Plow, but I could also Fire Ice that thing and then burn it with the Grim. Can Edict. I mean, it's efficient to Plow and hold Fire Ice for Force of Will. I think that makes more sense. So let's go for efficiency. Yeah, this Grim will also take out a Snapcaster pretty easily. So I'm not going to need to Plow. Oops. Okay. Actually, I just want to sit on Hardcast Force of Will, I guess. Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf's pretty tempting. Thing is, no, I think Tarmogoyf's too good not to like. This is too much pressure. I don't want to miss my like. I don't want to lose a counter war and then not have pressure. Like if my opponent does some funky time twister stuff, Wheel of Fortune type plays, or wins a fight with Mind Twist or something. It's just not worth it. Hard to do with Glenelendra on board, but I don't know. I don't know what could happen. I just prefer to not find out. Uh, this doesn't protect me from what could happen, but what it does is insulate me against whatever does happen, I suppose. That stupid thing. Okay. Hopefully I just don't die now. Easy to instant kill me. Oh wait, that's the first spell played this turn, so I'm actually safe here if I Edict, but if I don't Edict, so what I kind of want to do is ice one of my opponent's lands. So I don't want to get off library, but I don't want to die to this thing. I think I'll just risk it. That's pretty good. All right, so I'll Edict now. This way. This way. Okay, good. And then I can play a land or I can play a creature. I'm better off playing lands. I can hardcast Force of Will, or I can softcast it and activate Glen. Still have some mana to fiddle around with either one of my flashback cards. Well, it's almost dead, so there's that. I could ding him for 2, take him to 12, 6, 7, 8, nearly 9, 10. Let's see, I can do 2, 4, 9, 10, 12. Not enough, so I'm not going to. Vial Smasher is a pretty scary card. I suppose that's a card I hadn't really considered. And I'm not going to do it because I might want fuel, and I want fuel that doesn't shrink Tarmogoyf. All right, so yeah, you're not too helpful right now. Let's get the goose down. Excuse me. This gives me something to do with extra mana. Oh, excuse me. Oh, didn't mean to hit the mic with that. I have to crank it way up in order to avoid. What is this? Bounce and draw. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But the best way to prevent this from happening is actually stick it back in my opponent's hand, and I still have Glenelendra doing what Glenelendra does. It uses up all of my opponent's turn, I think. I think that's right. I think that's right. let's do it colorlessly here in blue. Yeah.
I know I did part. I tried. They didn't say that for me.
So I can actually transmute muddle and go get tribal flames and deal 5 to my opponent. So if my opponent does, I mean, I don't think that that's going to resolve here. So if my opponent does have a way to deal with this board, then this is like bounce, draw, something like that, right? So it's bounce, draw. So shoot them for 2, transmute for tribal flames. Or I could just force a will here. They can't, yeah, they're just dead. There's no forcing back, so yeah, we'll just force here. Don't need swords to plowshares, don't need remand. Yeah, that on board. Yeah, I don't know about this whole. I wonder if I should have more answers to library myself, honestly. Well, I have a lot of ways to go get land, so not only to get my own library, but possibly to solve a library problem. So this is pretty solid if I can find missing colors. Bad thing is I don't know which color I need the most. Do I need white, green, or red? I can only get one of them, so. All right.
Hey Thomas, what? Will you bring me your dishes from in there?
It's a reveal that I've drawn my planes, but on the other hand, strip mine can hit me, but wasteland can't, so I feel that it's a good spot to be in. This is nice because it's allowing me to not use my fetch land. Excellent. So I kind of want to, yeah, let's do it this way. Stay on the don't wasteland me, bro plan. I want to get night down, but I don't feel like running it into some mana over there. So this is like blue, green, white, red, something like that. Or white, green, blue, red, either way. Okay. All right, so let's get that thing bolted. I suppose it could be red, green, blue-white. Just trying to figure out which combination, because I'd like to sack one of these at some point, right? Red, green, blue, white seems pretty good. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Can only hope my opponent force of wills there. So I suppose I could play a land and then I can snapcaster bolt, but I don't think so. I do want to play around days though. I'm not going to do it because I can get this down right now, and the answer to it is probably a card that I can force a negation. But I can force a negation on my turn, so I want to be able to force a negation. Helix. 3 damage, and is he going to somehow remove cards from my graveyard? How does that work? Or is he going to go like... I don't know. There's always a chance it's a misplay. Yeah, it looks like it was a misplay. That's what I wanted. If he had like Bojuka Bog or something, I was going to be real sad. So I want to snap bolt that away. And I want to get this down. Clear my attack step. Should have done that earlier. Bolt that down. Force of will. So I can remand the bolt back to my hand, but it's not really that great. I can also hardcast Force of Negation here, which is okay. It does open me up to them playing an instant. So I could remand the Force of Will back, hope that my opponent Force of Wills again. Or sack like the Hallowed Fountain, perhaps, in order to force a negation this here. What am I more comfortable with? I kind of like remanding a Force of Will. I hate giving my opponent a Force of Will. But I mean, if they go to 4 cards in hand and then to 2, they really want that death rate. But it lets me keep these guys, but then my opponent has Force of Will. Tough call. I can't remand the bolt because I flashed it back. If it wasn't flashback, I could remand the bolt back and then fetch and then bolt that thing again if it was a bolt cast from hand. So that's out. I think I will remand the Force of Will. I'm unsure about this. Now, if they want to Force of Will it, great. Then I got another card. And that is not the worst thing ever. And then I could wasteland my opponent here. And that's not the worst thing ever either. They will get to exile the wasteland, but I think that's okay. Yeah. Okay. So they do get to exile the wasteland, but then after that, it's not so great for them. Because it's temporary, and I have Force of Negation in hand if I have to use it. I definitely do not want to use it. I can tell you this, if my opponent plays Dark Fate, now I'm going to attack the dang thing. Okay, so is it better for them or for me? Is it better for me to factor fiction or better for them to dig through time? It's better for them to dig through time, right? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so their graveyard's gone. My knight will feed them. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to try to go get Cephalid Colosseum? Do I want to go get Strip Mine, even though it sets me, it keeps me off strip blocking them? Do I want to push for damage? There's Caracas, Colosseum, and a few other cards. Of course, there's Library of Alexandria, but I'm far away from that. Man, that Taiga was like 2 different colors. I probably should have sacked the Hallowed Fountain. Very tempted to kill their land. How about their face? The cards probably would have been better for me than they would have been for my opponent, simply because they don't have the mana to use the cards, but yuck. My goodness. I guess I should have done this earlier. Which is the 2? I guess this one. Okay, let's do this. That way he'll get real big. Alright, so that Strip Mine's gone to the world soon enough. Oh, I know the land that I was thinking about adding here, which is actually the one that would deal damage when you have Threshold. Okay, cool. That didn't make a token. Is that going to make it? No token. Okay, that's real good. Let's go get Savannah or Plateau would be best. I'll get steam vents though. Ah, there we go. Unless my opponent has force of will, I think they're dead here. They do have force of will. So because they might, I'm just going to attack. And see if I can just talk them into chump blocking, right? And if not, well. Force or die. Die. Yeah, what is the land that, there's a land with, there's a, I might like to be able to go get, I might like to be able to tap to go get, removal. And I believe it's called Barbarian Ring. There we go. So I can get that. That doesn't take up a lot of slots here, and it's pretty good. So I have not gotten any value at all out of this rift thing. So let's just swap that out and run the Barbarian Ring. Okay. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to run, oh, what are you called? Do I want to run Crucible now? Just to have a way to, repeatedly smash my opponent with the ring over the electrolyze? I think I will. Crucible's just pretty good. So it's either Crucible or it's the 2-3, but I think Crucible's just a smidge better. So electrolyze is out, but I did add more removal in the form of the ring, and that gives me a nice little, that gives me another way to do what the Punishing Fire can do, which is just repeatedly kill stuff, which, matters. Also opponents. It gives me a way to possibly deal 2 damage to my opponent and then deal 2 damage to my opponent again off of Ren and 6, like from the Loam or now Crucible. I think I like the Crucible quite a bit. We'll see. But it feels like a third way to recur my lands is probably really important. Great with the old Crucible, Zern, or balance type thing. That's really good. I don't have Fast Bond to gain infinite life off these 3 cards. 1, 2, and Fast Bond is infinite. Still considering whether or not I like that. Do I own one? I don't even know if I do. Anything with fast in the name? No, I don't. It's a pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing little combo. It's also crazy with Loam, right? Just play 3 fetches and then fast bond them out, but you take a ton of damage if you do it. So hard to say. All right, going first here is real nice. I think if I don't get disrupted, I don't think I'll go into the Loam. I think I'll sit on Muddle because I really don't want to get disrupted with this hand. I don't know, or will I? I can just start collecting some value here. This hand is pretty hard to disrupt, actually. The thing that will kill me is not enough mana, so let's do it. Tropical or Bayou? Bayou? Or Trop? No, it's got to be Trop. Okay. It's pretty much an insane hand, with the only issue being speed. So imagine if I had, well, I can imagine I had fast spawn, but then you can imagine all the times where it would be bad. So this is the reason why I'm not running it. And what would I replace? None of these cards would be replaced. Okay, time to get the man, the myth, the legend. That card is like so absurd. It has to be dealt with so uh, quickly. It just completely takes over a game. Like, I'd love to have a Jace, thanks. Yeah, you can definitely mulligan. What's going on over there? Is it a combo deck? So what do I need to do? Deal with a combo deck. Oh, some kind of reanimator thing. Okay. Well, Oko looks pretty valuable, since I can shrink a creature that's, I mean, if my opponent reanimates like Grizzlebrand or something, it's not good for me. But I was weirdly tapped. Could have careful studied there. One more time. Oh, very nice. Kark is going to be extra hard to deal with for the reanimator player, I would think. I would love to play a true name here, but I don't want to lose. Still, I think I should. It's the longer the game goes, the better it is for my opponent, actually, since there are so many things that they can do that just kill me. My opponent puts in like the 4/7 that shrinks creatures, for example, into the graveyard here and kills the true name, then I just bounce it with Caracas, so I'm happy with that. What I'm really concerned about is like a Grizzlebrand. Okay, Sylvan, Jace, yeah, that makes sense. Just running himself out of cards over there, which is great. So far, turn 3, turn 2, turn 3, or turn 4 Oko, like basically an early game Oko in I think 2 or 3 days has resulted in 100% win rate for whoever played the Oko. Against any deck. It's always a win. Yeah, he's working real hard to do his thing. No, you can't entomb now. Yeah. Okay. Put token, land, smashy, smashy. And then Baby Jace. This leaves up Caracas and leaves up a counter. I won't sack this because I want to be able to counter. Very nice. What a dumb card that is. I mean, if my opponent can't get Wasteland to deal with Caracas here and with the Loam in the graveyard, so sure. Man. This feels like Vampiric Tutor Scoop. And down a card from Frantic, down a card from Careful Study. That's 2 cards down. Regrowing and doing it again, down another card. Mystical, down a card. Vampiric, down a card. Opponent, like, basically Mind Twisted. Yeah, it was Vampiric Scoop. Easy. Okay. I think I do like having the extra early game hoser. I like the Crucible because, like, occasionally I'm just going to go, Wasteland lock somebody very quickly. Okay, yeah, that's a hand I like to see. Or strip lock them, pending. I'd probably, what would I force with if I had to? All right, down a card again. That's very good. Wow, down 2 cards. Opponent went and got a card that a Vampiric Tutor, and I very much want to strip mine here, but there's a huge risk because I may need to Worldly Counsel. Not willing to take that risk. Man, if I had drawn anything playable or a land, I would have stripped. Excuse me. Hmm. Wow. I want to pull the trigger, but I need to dig. So whatever my opponent goes and gets here, I can't. They run it through a Boseiju. I can't counter it, but I mean, my mana. What do I do? I could take out Watery Grave or Boseiju, and then I guess I can draw and discard Deep and draw and discard Mystical Teachings. Yeah, it's not great. I assume that the card that they're going to go get is something like Buried Alive. That's kind of scary because if they go land Buried Alive, I can't counter it, and then on the next turn they use the mana for like reanimation of some sort that I can't counter. I'm going to have to do this. Opponent's down so many cards that, and there's so many good draws for me here. Any land, tithe, any, yeah. Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm, any of that stuff. Yeah, I almost killed the Grave, but I think if I kill the Grave, what ends up happening is that I just end up in a situation where I can't counter and okay. Death. I end up in a situation where I can't counter and it's a matter of time before they draw their black mana. Oh jeez. Whatever. That sucked. That super sucked. I guess I could have killed the black, but geez. I mean, what do you do? I don't understand why Grizzlebrand is no points. Really don't. Like, that card's absurd. But so be it. I mean, it's a card that I don't even like in a format like this because of what it does right there. Like any other creature, it's going to be a real bad time for me. But at least it's a game. But that card, nope, it's not a game. This is death. Okay, this could be good. Because it's draw 14, and that's pretty much game over. I'm fairly certain draw 14 is game over. It solves every problem too, because it kills control because it draws so many cards. It kills aggro because it gains so much life. Okay, hold down control, do this thing, do this thing. So I could get library and try to get to work that way, or I can just go get some mana attack. The other card I can get is Caracas. So far, this is okay. My nose itches. Regrowth targeting land or demonic? Demonic. Okay. Not going to. I'm going to attack as I'm not going to. Let's stop, please. I have a stop. So I want to ice the Bayou here because they just picked up a demonic tutor. And then if my opponent plays a land that doesn't produce black, so that they cannot. Good lord. Wow, if they play black. Wow, if they play a land, I guess I can go ahead and attack their mana again with a strip mine. I'm going to take out a brainstorm. That seems good. There we go. It's crazy that they didn't save the misdirection for this, to me. Like, stopped in ice. So I can go get a wasteland. I could go get a green source and try to get the goose down. None of it's great. I do want to go get the strip mine, though. I mean, a wasteland, I said. A strip mine. I can go get Library of Alexandria also. But I think going after my opponent's black mana makes the most sense. Because that's what I did initially, so I want to continue to do that. You know, and stuff like this used to be good cards to deal with Reanimator, but not so much when, all right, Punishing Fire can go. Balance doesn't look super great to me. Brea is super slow. And oops. I am tapped out, but I did get Brea in the graveyard, so I suppose if my opponent does the one reanimation spell that targets both sides. Oh, God. Okay, not yet. So I can go get Caracas here, or Library of Alexandria. I guess I'll get Caracas. Torn. I don't think my opponent's really going to do much. I guess I'll get Library. So the thing about it is, all right, so I don't need Volcanic, and I really am good here. My opponent needs to get black mana, right? So I'm going to get another shot on the Wayfarer. But the way this works out for me is that getting Library over Caracas means that I can... Yeah, okay. Possibly just dig into a victory. But I don't have a way to get Caracas now, so I need to really get some pressure going here. I don't want my opponent to have black mana, but the question is, do I want to fight over that? I don't have a... Oh, I've got Quiet Spec in my hand. Okay. So I want to... Huh. So 1, 2 for spec and 1... God, this is rough. Okay. I need one more blue source here. I guess I feel bad about discarding the volcanic. Yeah, I feel bad about discarding the volcanic. Might have just hosed my game up pretty hard here. One thing I could do is a little bit techie, but I can quiet spec my opponent, forcing him to shuffle, and then getting rid of their whatever they just vampiric tutored for. That might be the play. God, I really need to hit a land drop, but okay. I'm just going... No, there's no way he's going to play 2 lands next turn. True name, back to fiction. These cards are way too slow. One more hit, and Grizzlebrand isn't the threat that it once was. This thing still is, but I mean, we've got a lot of this is covered with the edict. Nah, I'm not going to type that. Truthfully, I can understand why he did it, because he didn't want to play his instant when I was able to counter it, I suppose. It's not the craziest thing ever. 4 cards left. Death, targeting Grizz. Attempt to leak it. Okay, good. Hopefully it doesn't get recurred again. Okay, good. So that's the one we wanted it to be because of this. Now my opponent is toast. If my opponent pays to draw, I just Brea them and then they're dead. If my opponent doesn't pay to draw, then this edict just kills them. So dead or dead. Yes. Let's go back. Yeah, I do like the Crucible. Having that extra, so many of these games would be so much easier if I had a Crucible in play, right? So we'll keep that. So many games. What a nice stack this feels like, though. Overall, pretty happy with it. Still not sure about the old balance there. It's more counter magic. Really should be. I feel like I'm a little light, especially against these combos. I guess balance can get me out of some trouble that no other card in the game can get me out of. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. It's too powerful. Plus, the fact that you can Spell Seeker for balance is kind of crazy. I mean, sure, it leaves a creature in play, but when you're trying to Spell Seeker to Mind Twist or Armageddon them, we do not care about that thing. And of course, sometimes there'll be ways to deal with that. I am considering whether or not I can afford and or want Bojuka Bog. It is a tutorable land with Knight of the Reliquary that deals with Loam as well as significantly hurts Reanimator. It's pretty powerful. It also has the splash damage against Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time and Snapcaster Mage and Escanta that wants to flip a Quiet Spec. I don't know if... It's one of those things where it's like when you have land tutoring, having cards you can fetch that solve problems like the Barbarian Ring and the Colosseum combo and whatnot, it's so much more interesting. I wonder if I can... I wonder if I could just drop the basic. Let's try it. I was considering bog as I was watching myself abuse loam anyway, but this deck certainly pushes me that direction. Yeah, so now we have a tutor package of kill it, exile it, draw, combo card, bounce it, kill, kill, win, recur. Hell of a package, right? As far as, and it's interesting because we got a black, a red, a blue, a white. Don't have a green land. I mean, I suppose I could put Cradle in here, but I don't have enough creatures for it. But I have a red green land, and then these 4 colorless. As far as like individual colored cards, it's kind of interesting. Okay. We have another game starting. I am unsure. Okay, so it looks like I'm about done now for now. God, I worry about Blood Moon in this deck, but I don't know. You can't beat everything. One lantern is a way to get out from under it, but it might not be. Gosh. Might not be worth it. I do like the fact that it would fix cards like Bojuka Bog and make them tap the colors that I want. But I mean, Crucible's just so much better of a card that I don't think that makes sense. So I think I'm going to just go roll with this. Is there some way I can get Wooded Foothills in the picture? I guess I have to make these a little bit smaller. I'm going to take a screenshot. Send it to Brian. Anyway, that's it for the gameplays. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Here's the complete deck list as it is now for Highlander. Certainly seems strong. But, you know, again, tell me what you think. Hopefully you enjoy these. I know the channel was mainly devoted to Berea and Commander, but truthfully, I'm enjoying this format quite a bit. It's super interesting to play. It has a lot of powerful things. You don't have that convenience of being able to just reach over and grab the commander and win with it. And I kind of like that. I also really enjoy quite a bit being able to play Balance and Library of Alexandria. Like, and Caracas, 3 cards that I can't play in Commander. So even though there's cards I can't use, you know, I don't get to use Mind Twist, and Winter Orb's not really any good and stuff. No Soul Rings and stuff. I'm okay with that. But there's some cards that I haven't played in a long time that I really enjoy playing, and so it is kind of fun to be able to do that. So anyway, that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It's certainly long, and hopefully, and again, leave your comments. Let me know if you want me to break off from Highlander. I'll try to focus on Commander a little bit more, but I will be playing more of this because I think it's super interesting. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.